Darth Microtransaction, welcome to the video. What'd you think when you saw the road ahead today?
I read it. I went through, and I have mixed opinions on it, is how I feel. There's some good stuff in there I like quite a bit, and there's stuff that I'm trying to be cautiously optimistic about.
Okay, fair enough. Quick summary from the road ahead in case any of you missed it. I'm guessing most of you had, so I won't read it word for word, but I will give you a quick TLDR. Top Hat did the road ahead first of all. Now, I don't believe Top Hat is Carrie's replacement, but he's at least a replacement for the road ahead blog. He clarifies at the beginning he's a live producer for this game. So if he was going to be the senior producer, I think he would have said so. And so I'm guessing that's either up in the air or they're not telling us who it is. And then we talk about the battle raging on and a couple interesting tidbits in here. This is positive news, in my opinion, but it's also kind of predictable news. We knew that we were going to be getting a light side version of the Geonosis territory battles, and so I'm having a hard time getting hyped about this just because we've already seen this. We already know that this is coming. But there was an interesting little tidbit in here. Did you catch what it was, Darth Micro? About the characters?
What the at the bottom here, where they kind of left in a few Sherlock Holmes hints for us to decipher. Yeah, there's a couple of them in there.
Yes, they say here we've got some new units making appearance to support the war effort that will leave you slapping your forehead in disbelief. And so I don't know about you. I'm gonna call the shot right now. I think they're actually gonna bring Jar Jar Binks into the game.
Okay, you see, I took it as that or a Ki Adimundo, the guy with like the towering forehead, because we've seen him. Right?
Oh, slapping your forehead. Slapping like with both hands.
Yeah, you need, maybe your foot too. You need a few of them there. And then there's light side reeks of great content. So somebody pointed out earlier in the comment of one of my videos that reeks is probably a homage to the, what is that? One of the creatures that you fight.
Yes.
From the Clone Wars.
Potentially. Or what if it's a Theon Greyjoy? It could be Theon Greyjoy, could it not?
That's a good point. It could be Theon Greyjoy. It might get an 8-star. This is not a scam. Theon Greyjoy.
Oh, I love it. So, interesting stuff. And then also something else to point out that I just wanted to point this out because I thought this was really funny. They give a shout out to Team Instinct and Mighty Chlorians for beating the territory battle, getting it to 30 stars for the first time. But Mighty Chlorians has been Mighty Wallets for a long time now. I think it's been a while since they changed their name. So I think it's funny. I probably doesn't mean much. I just think it's funny that they reverted to their old name here. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I did. But something I also noticed here is only 2 guilds were the first to do it to 30 stars, right? And no one's done it at 33 yet, and only 80 people beat the accolade.
That's pretty crazy. That's a pretty low number.
That's what I was thinking. Like, at first I was like, oh, wow, there's only 80 wells. And I was thinking, wait a minute, there's only 80 wells? Like, what happened?
Yeah, 80, that's the number that surprised me more. Having only a couple guilds to 30, I think that's fine. It's going to take a little bit. It's, once people get more Gear 13, we'll probably have somebody hit 33 stars this go around, or the next, pretty soon. So, but yeah, 80 does seem pretty low. And I've actually heard, I've heard a little bit of buzzing. This is not something that I've actually seen the numbers on, but I've been hearing a lot of talk about some big-time, high-profile whales leaving the game recently. And that could have some effect on this, truth be told. I mean, I think the game is bleeding both free-to-play and pay-to-play players right now. And, I mean, I was talking to somebody in particular today who was like, yeah, look, dude, there's been quite a few whales that have left recently. And so maybe that has something to do with it.
I actually can confirm that because, like, my largest all-time supporter, the guy that basically purchased me my entire Raid Shadow Legends account, he loved Star Wars recently, too, and I know he's pushing close to 6 digits at this point. I'm not going to say how close, but, yeah, he's
6 digits, there. Man. My gosh. Yeah. All right, so the next part of the road ahead that I'm going to talk about here that we want to discuss, this is the part that I'm going to be honest, So I joked on Reddit about this, how I've told the channel I'm going to be positive. I'm going to try to be positive about the game. It's like this quest to try to be optimistic and that kind of thing. And I feel like if I could hang a sign behind me here that says days since Cubs got negative about Galaxy of Heroes, and I'd be up to like 5 or 6 days. I'm going to erase that right now. We're back to 0, guys. Because this to me, is like the last thing I can think about that we need in this game right now. And that is a new progression system. They're announcing that. Now, the positive angle of this is that they're telling us that we're going to have a way to use all of that old gear that we have laying around, like the Mark IV stun guns, I'm guessing. It also mentions ability mats. And so maybe the green mats, the blue mats, that kind of thing.
We don't need to make the characters stronger. We need places to use them. I don't get it, man. I mean, Urs hit it on the nail, the nail on the head there for me. It's like, I have a huge roster. I would like to use them. That is how I feel. I love your game. I actually do love your game. I love the characters. I'm not mad at the money I spend in the game. I would just like the ability to use them more. That's it.
It's great. The main thing that we need is new content in this game, not territory battles, new content, a sandbox mode, something. That we've been farming these characters for 4 years almost, and we just got a new way to progress them with Gear 13, Chirotechs, etc. I can't think of anything that nauseates me more than more ways to progress characters right now. Now, if it is with, gear and stuff that I already have, great. But I have absolutely zero confidence that that is all that we will need for this. It'll be one of two things, in my opinion. I'd love for CG to prove me wrong on this, but either we will run out of that gear very fast and we're right into another gear crunch with old gear that we used to have excess of, or that gear will be utilized for it, but there'll be something new that you have to have. And baby, you bet your bottom dollar. I can't believe I just said that. You bet all of those dollars right at the bottom that there's going to be a pack, that they will monetize it somehow. And so there's positives to glean from this. I want to be positive about this game right now because it does get exhausting just complaining about every single thing. I don't want to be like that. But I can't, in my rational mind, look at this and go, I'm excited about more ways to progress my characters. But I do like that they're finally doing something about... I do like that they're doing something about all of that excess gear that we have laying around. I wish it would be more something like you can craft it into higher gear that you can use on existing stuff, not something new, but I digress.
There's a couple ways I'm willing to be optimistic about it, okay? And one of which is that this is we don't know the details particularly where this is going to play out yet, okay?
Yep.
So I see a few ways that they could have mentioned this that I could be a misunderstanding. One of which is it could not be a gear piece. It could be something entirely differently. You're just given to when you acquire the character as like an additional square box somewhere on the screen or something. And as you wish to, you can pour resources into it, making that item stronger, giving you a way to, slowly power up your character as you go. And then maybe at certain benchmarks, you unlock new abilities, because they do mention, potentially new abilities or something. I think I would be okay with that. I think where I get worried and where kind of my pessimism overtakes my optimism here is that if it's something that requires Gear 13, meaning it's just an additional, it's your first Gear 13 piece. What this means for me is I only have 4 Gear 13 characters, and it spent me over $100 to get these characters to Gear 13. And they're just my squad arena people. They're not even my favorite characters. Currently, I'm working on Wampa. I would very much like the Gear 13 Wampa. But if I have to start focusing my shift away from fun things once again to squad arena to a now Gear 13 +1, I'm going to be sad. I'm just even if it's cool, I'm still going to be sad.
This is going to be a game changer. This to me reads like it's going to be at least as significant as Zetas were when they hit the game. Because it said, you can't ignore that it says these items, what if these items granted you immense character power? Including potentially new abilities. And so, to me, it seems like maybe an expansion of Zetas. Maybe this is the next step for Zetas, something like that. But I've also seen something I saw a mobile gamer say is it looks like it might be Red Stars from Marvel Strike Force in disguise, which I don't know much about.
Oh, like an Ascension.
How Red Stars worked. It wasn't necessarily my favorite game. In fact, I've tried several. I actually wanted to play that game when I got upset about stuff going on in Galaxy Heroes. I was like, I'm gonna play Strike Force. I'm gonna stick it to the man. I still can't get into that game. I'm not gonna play that game. I just can't get into it. So I can't profess to know that. But you dabbled in it a bit. Do you know a bit about the Red Star controversy? Because I know it was very unpopular.
Okay, so I don't know about the controversy other than just watching Mobile Gamers videos, because I'm the same way as you. I don't play the game. But what I can compare this to is kind of in the same line of thinking. Is there in Raid Shadow Legends, which is the other mobile game I can play, I can compare it to that, where they have something called Ascension, which is instead of red stars, it's pink. Your stars go from gold to pink.
That's cute.
Every time you level it up, it essentially unlocks new places where you can put gear pieces. So there's 3 spots that you have to be 4, 5, or 6 ascended, or else you don't unlock those 3 spots. So they could kind of nab that idea from Raid Shadow Legends, make it where you have to ascend them all the way for, the 7 stars that we have, right? If you ascend all 7, then you unlock the spot or something. It could be like that. But someone in your chat made a very good point, which is saying that if it is a massive resource dump for old pieces like stun guns, the old, Mark IVs, then it could potentially be very difficult for free to play to handle this type of change.
And it could really screw over new players.
Exactly, especially if these new pieces are from the get-go. So either way, I feel like it's going to be really difficult. Not necessarily bad to the game, I don't know, but it's going to be difficult either way, either for free to play, or it's going to be difficult that you have to spend money to get to Gear 13.
And even for me, even if this ends up being totally fine, even if we have no gripes with this, even if this ends up being best case scenario, it still just feels like the last thing I want to hear about in a road ahead right now. Now, maybe I need to rework my expectations of what a road ahead is going to be. I mean, maybe Top Hat's going to do these things a bit different. It's going to be briefer information. It's going to be more narrow information. And if that's the case, that's fine. But to me, with kind of the morale of this community, where the community's at right now, this community, I just can't think of anything that this community needed to hear less than you're going to have something else to add to all of your characters to power them up. It's going to be immensely powerful. That to me is the deepest optimist in me that I'm trying to bring out here. I just so struggle to find the optimism in that. It just doesn't look like something that I can get excited about, or that's going to be good for this game in any way right now.
Doesn't sound fun. This is where it comes down.
Doesn't sound fun.
Since I switched my attitude, it's like now I just want to have fun. Like in the game, I just want to have fun. So I don't even care if the content that comes out is something I have to work towards, or if it's going to take a while. But if it's fun content, I'm okay with it. Personally, just if this new way they implement it is fun, I'm okay with it. If it's not, I'm not. It's that simple. And honestly, I'm already having problems keeping up. I mean, I'm not putting more money into this game either. Like, I'm not 100% free play, because if they come out with a new character, maybe I'll buy a marquee pack. But, I'm not, since the $100 gear pack, I haven't bought anything, and I don't think I'm going to.
Yeah.
So if this is another wall, then I'm bummed. But if it's not, then if it's something fun,
I hope
it does
isn't.
actually make characters that maybe it makes my Wampa better. Maybe it does. Maybe I'll be okay with that. I don't know. So I'm gonna try to be optimistic, but
we're just going to have to wait and see. I'm gonna wait and see how this goes. I'm having a hard time seeing this going away that is not paywalled in some way, even though maybe it's utilizing some of that gear. I can't see this being something that is given to us for free, and it just doesn't seem like what this game ever does. I feel like it's masked as a positive because, look, you can get rid of this gear, but there's going to be a nut punch with it in the form of some $100 pack in the store that's going to help you get there. So,
because honestly, what I expected, and this, I guess that we probably need to wrap it up, so it's probably my last point on it, though, is that what I expected was the monetization aspect is Gear 13, and they've given us new items to purchase. And what the road ahead was going to be is an incentive to purchase. Okay, the wall is the Gear 13, and now that I decided to buy it for all my teams, now they're announcing the road ahead that is, here's what you get with your Gear 13. You can use them in this new raid. You can use them here. You can use them there. But instead, it's now that you have Gear 13, now you can buy this. And I'm a little, that's my feeling, but I'm going to hope I'm wrong.
it might be like gold mods where, yeah, you can have a gold mod, but you got to have your character at gear 12. So yeah, you can have a, iconic power, but you got to have them at gear 13 to get there. And so it seems good, but it's actually more paywall. So yeah, well, it remains to be seen. More than anything, what I stand by the most is this is not what the game needs right now. The game needs new content right now. The game needs some kind of sandbox mode or something to let us use our stuff. Let us, new senior producer, whoever you are, let me use my toys. I am a kid. Yes, I am complaining because I am a child who games, and I want to play with my toys. It was my birthday like a couple weeks ago. I just want to play with my toys. That's all I have to say. I'm going to end this now. I'm going to end this rant. Darth Microtransaction, you have anything else to say?
I agree, man. I'm going to end it just saying I'm going to try to be optimistic. If it's something cool, thank you, CG, for adding something cool to the game.
Hopefully.
All right.
Hopefully.
All right, guys.
Okay.
Thank you very much for having me on. Cheers. You have a great
one.
All right.
Thanks for joining me for this part of the stream, Darth Micro.
My dead body. Sorry about the mess.